What's up, guys? It's Drac, and the only thing more exhausting than reviewing Ultra Blasters is reviewing the same Ultra Blaster. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the Ultra Scream Machine is a blatant ripoff of the Ultra Dorado, which is a blatant ripoff of the Ultra 2. And I don't know how many more times they're going to recolor, rehash, reshell the same garbage before we finally get our point across that, like, the Ultra line just isn't that compelling to either casual or very invested enthusiasts. People who like performance hate the Ultra ammo, and people who like, you know, just goofing around hate the Ultra ammo because it either breaks or doesn't hit what you're aiming at. I just can't. You wore me out, Hasbro. Guys, if you need a reason not to buy any Ultra products, watch literally any other Ultra review from any other creator. They don't even have to be mine. These things are the absolute pits. But you know what is in the pits? The winner of last video's giveaway. You get 20 bucks to foamproshop.com. You've been contacted to pick up your gift certificate, and you can pick up any of the fine products over on my website through that means. If you're interested in getting your own gift card, all you got to do is leave a kind comment down below and you'll be entered into next videos, and you get a chance to have your goofery featured here like this fine fellow. In the meantime, this is the Ultra Scream Machine. It's a Mark II with slightly different ergo and slightly different darts, but they're still polypropylene darts. But we're not gonna get anything out of it just looking at the front. We've got to go onto the back. Where gnarly glare aside, you could see whistle tip, which it absolutely does. Then lightweight foam, which it certainly is. They just don't mention that it breaks on impact. And then Aerofin technology, which does straight nothing, but they have to justify selling you these darts for 50 cents or more somehow. Let's go ahead and crack this guy open and get it over with. Now, in the spirit of fair play, and we are going to give it a fair shake, the Ultra Scream Machine is pretty handsome in terms of its decorations. I like this kind of muted, cool, electric blue thing it's got going on way more than the incredibly gaudy, very tasteless gold thing that the rest of the Ultra line has going on, including the egregious example that is the Dorado, which has gold polyprop darts. They're not any better, they're just more obnoxious. Anyway, I think that it's sharp. I actually really dig the very shiny kind of electric blue sort of Ultra logo. I didn't like it in the gold because it just didn't make sense. It canonically wasn't good. You made something really bad and then gave it the gold standard. Anyway, up here, this triangular muzzle device is actually pretty sharp. I like it way more than the one on the Mark II. The foregrip isn't bad. It's like a reverse version of a handguard stop, like that you would see in real steel world. Like, that's not bad. The stock is comically too small and also pretty hollow. It's just not very comfy. The irons aren't bad. Like, overall, I like this okay, and I would like it far more if these were the features that came on, like, say, a clip-fed or a mag-fed Ultra Blaster. But no, we have the same funky, fresh, big revolver feel. Now, again, the Mark II was one of my favorites, if you can even call it that, of the Ultra line, because I liked that it was doing a rear-loading revolver like this. What I don't like is the built-in dart DRM sensor, such that you can only fire Ultra darts stock out of the package. This jam door here is effectively useless. It's more like a peak, and it does have an electronic lock in it, so if it happens to be dislodged, you're not firing. But when you close it and hit this rev trigger, which, by the way, is a little small for the size of the, I mean, everything about the control system here is a little small. Especially for a blaster that's this front heavy, given that its 6 AA battery power source sits in the front here. Now, this one comes in at 35 United States dollars plus batteries. That's going to put you at about 40 compared to, say, the Mark II, which is, if you want to get into this arena, about $10 less across the board. I think the Mark II is better because then you've got kind of big wheel gun action, and you can do the business with the big iron on your hip. But this one serves kind of that really funky pseudo revolver SMG aesthetic. It's got a real future tech thing, which is further complemented by the blue, but of course, Hasbro couldn't be bothered to give us that same electric decal and paint job and lightning bolts accenting on the other side. They also couldn't paint the stock white. Like, you would think that they would at least, whatever, it's fine. So the aesthetics are only as good as label to camera, but the overall ergo, like I said, is a little cramped. This is good, this is hot, this is tight. There's a lot of good in this that the rest of the Ultra line isn't embracing, and I would like to see more of these whistle darts, because if you're gonna use incredibly overpriced bad ammo that you can't use in anything else, you might as well, hopefully they whistle a little bit better flying downrange. As far as performance goes, we can expect pretty standard electronic performance from a 6 AA battery setup, which means that this should be shooting right around 100 FPS. It does whistle a little bit better. It's not all bad gripes and what have you. I do like the rear-loading revolver system. It's nice whenever Hasbro takes something from hobby-inspired design, or in this case, perhaps they just took it from Real Steel World and implemented it in a way that's solid. I just wish that you could fire real darts out of this blaster, and that's the quintessential sin of the Ultra line, is trying to sell proprietary high-margin reloads through blasters chock full of locks and DRM that nobody finds compelling or interesting. I did it again. I went off the rails, I hopped on my soapbox. Here we are. Let's take it outside and we'll tell you if it's a hit or a miss. All right, so I do want to mention briefly here that there is kind of built-in dart storage, but the polypropylene just lets these kind of, like, legitimately just fall out. So it's not the world's best dart storage, and I don't recommend using it given that this is $1 that just fell on my, my detritus floor here. But we'll go ahead and fire a few over the chronograph. Let's go ahead and power this guy on. Again, we're hoping for triple digits. It is an electronic flywheel blaster with, what would it be, 9 volts of nominal power going through it. So we'll put, 5 over, and then we'll get a couple whistle shots downrange. The one saving grace of this awful dart storage is that you can pull them out pretty easily and then rear load pretty conveniently as well. I do really like the triangle muzzle. Hey, triple digits. So that puts our average at right around 100, which was our big guess. Which way does this? All right, it rotates through that way. So you got to pull them off, and slide them in like so. All right, now let's throw a few down range so that you guys can hear it. It's going to cost us about $2 to do so, but oh man, that stock is, I guess it's okay. You chicken wing a lot to get it in there. It's just, a pistol like this and a pistol profile doesn't necessarily need a stock, especially not a great one. I do like the foregrip. I wish the stock was longer or extendable. I remember back when like the accessories used to have features. It's kind of crazy that things like the Lightning Storm stock and the Raider stock are now like the thing of legend that you want to find at thrift stores, because the current stocks are just that poor. They're all cramped, they're all small, they're all designed to fit into flat packs for shipping to reduce costs, and they're not really thinking about actual use case anymore. They're thinking about cost-benefit analysis. It's just, take me back, Raider. All right, so those are flat shots of about 45, 50 feet, which is not bad. And then the most important part is if we put 2 ranged shots down, we should get even more of a tail on that kind of thing. Now, that means you're not lobbing these quietly into zombies. You would rather have nobody wants Ultra Darts for HVZ, but nobody uses expensive ammo for HVZ either. But anyway, they're not quiet. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I also, incidentally, know the inventor of the Whistler tip patent, and I am pleased that he's getting a little something out of this ultra disaster that is. The carry handle's not bad. I don't know who's carrying it around like this, but it's not bad. It's at the top of my ultra list, which is a lot like being the smartest kid in remedial school, but it's better than most. Still certainly not a must buy for me. It might be a pick it up on sale. If you can grab one of these for under 20 bucks, I think that a sci-fi paint job on this would be ultra slick. I think that integrated LED work, if this is something that you're already doing, would be really cool, especially given that one of those battery trays is recessed. You could get 3 volts through that using alkalines and use the top space for a lithium battery to get 3S power to your motors. I know that a lot of people have done kits for the Ultra. particularly the Ultra 2, to kind of rebarrel them into 50 cal. And I want to try that because I really want to give these guys, you know, the benefit of my modding experience, but it's just not worth it when there's so many cooler shells and better things that are predestined for 50 cal greatness that I'd rather refine and work on there. That said, I know that Gavin Fuzzy did some cool stuff with it. I just could never get it to rotate properly for me. And maybe we'll come back to it in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look. Again, this one's a pick it up on sale because it's not the worst Ultra Blaster. Ultra's just the worst line that we've been fed recently. It's not your fault, Scream Machine. It's not your fault.